T G T G T G T G
Tinselin,
T
Soloo,
T G
grumble and a grottle, Tinselin, Soloo, Tinselin, Soloo, la li la lo la. Tinselin, Soloo, a rumble and a grottle, Tinselin, Soloo, Tinselin, Soloo, la li la.
Chapter 5. The Strange and Magical Snow. Winter wakes up sort of fast. On the one strand of tinsel, she's excited because it's only 2 more sleeps until Christmas, which means the Santa Clausification ceremony is tomorrow night. But on the other strand of tinsel, her friends are probably still mad at her, and she's still confused about all the strange and magical things that have been happening. Santa makes pancakes for breakfast, and he tries to shape Winter's like candy canes, but he's not the best pancake shaper. They sort of just look like big blobs. "What are you going to wear to the wrapping party this afternoon?" Joy asks Winter. Winter just shrugs. She doesn't really feel like going to the wrapping party. All her friends will be there, and William and Mia are probably still mad at her. And her head is so confused. She decides to sit on the front step with a cup of hot chocolate and think, because maybe some serious thinking will unconfuse a few things in her head. But her thinking is interrupted by Holly, who has come outside with a blanket in her hand. "You were pretty quiet this morning at breakfast, Winter. Is everything hot chocolate and marshmallow-tastic?" Holly asks, sitting down beside Winter. Winter shrugs. "Not really. More like mashed potato meat pie." I see," Holly replies. They both stare at the falling snow in silence. Then Holly asks, "Is there anything I can do to change that meat pie into a marshmallow?" Winter picks at the blanket on her lap. Maybe she should just tell Holly about all the strange and magical things that happened yesterday, and about the fight with her friends. Holly is a pretty good advice giver sometimes. But what if Holly doesn't believe her either? Winter's not even sure if she believes what happened. What if her brain is just being a joker and playing tricks on her? "Well," Holly says, "I found this at the Book Borrow building yesterday. I thought you might like to read it with me." Holly pulls out a book from under the blanket. Winter looks at the title, "The Ribboners and the Stolen Snow." Winter smiles. Winter loves stories about ribboners. She loves them as much as she loves candy canes, and that's a lot. There are so many stories. Stories about their beauty, about their colors, about where they came from, about where they live now. Stories about whether or not they're even real, about why nobody ever sees them. They are said to be the most magical creatures that have ever lived. Mostly human from the waist up, with hair that doesn't hang like ours, but flows and ripples in the air, almost liquid-like. And their eyes, big and bright, they change color with every blink. But the part Winter likes best is that from the waist down, they are made of ribbons. Hundreds of rippling ribbons in more colors than you could ever imagine. And they use their ribbons to glide and float across the snow so gracefully they barely even leave a mark. They are the most magical creatures that have ever lived. Their magic has no limits and their power has no bounds. That's what the stories say. And there was a time that they lived freely in the What-If Woods, respected and revered by all, and admired the most by many, but where did they go? Winter looks at the title again, The Ribboners and the Stolen Snow. This is a new story, one she's never heard before. Winter nods at Holly. Holly opens the book and begins to read. "A very long time ago, before you or I or anyone else lived way up here in the North Pole, a very strange and magical thing happened. The sky snowed colored snow. It only happened in one place though, far, far away it was, deep in the What-If Woods, past the merry, merry mermaid ponds, beyond the Christmas fairy dwellings, and up over the Mistletoe Mountains, and down, down, way down in the Candy Cane Canyons. No one knows how or why this colored snow fell from the sky. It just did. It fell in colored flakes and glittered on the ground in every hue. It was so beautiful," they'd say to you, "that there really were no words to describe it. And so all the strange and magical creatures went to the what-if woods to see for themselves this beautiful colored snow. And when they got there, they realized that yes, you could see it, but only for a moment, only for a glimpse, because the colored snow, as beautiful as it was, produced something very dangerous called the glow. Now, we all know that sun on snow that's really white will often glow a bit too bright and make you squint or blink and shut your eyes real tight. Well, the sun on colored snow is even brighter, and it will glow and glow and glow, and if you don't look away, you could lose your sight. This is what they called the glow. But still, the creatures all went, knowing to be careful, knowing to only glimpse, because as long as you looked away after a blink or two, you'd be okay. Yes, the creatures kept on going, knowing that the glow would keep on glowing all over the colorful snow that kept on snowing right out of the sky, because they wanted to see this strange and magical beauty themselves, if only for the blink of an eye. That is, until the Ribboners came. Word of the colored snow spread fast throughout the what-if woods, and when the Ribboners heard, they too made the trek past the Merry Merry Mermaid ponds, beyond the Christmas fairy dwellings, up and over the Mistletoe Mountains and down, way down into the Candy Cane Canyons. But when the Ribboners arrived, they arrived unnoticed, because all of the other creatures were too busy admiring the snow. This upset the Ribboners, because they were used to being admired everywhere they went. And when they reached the colored snow, all the creatures were in awe, but they were not in awe of them. The Ribboners became jealous. They had always been the most revered, most admired, most beautiful, but now the colored snow was falling, and it was more beautiful than them. Jealous and angry, they quickly used their magic, and they stole the color from the snow. The other creatures could do nothing. As they watched, horrified, the Ribboners drained the color from the flakes, and it ran up their ribbons, up into their eyes, and right out the very ends of their hair. There was nothing the other creatures could do. There was no way to stop them. They could only watch, helpless, as the Ribboners stole every last drop of color. "There now," the Ribboners declared. "Be in awe of us again, and bow." The creatures bowed, low and deep, but not out of awe for the Ribboners. They bowed to protect their eyes. The Ribboners had been so quick to use their magic, they did not know what they had done as they stepped out into the sun. There was no time to look away. The glow was fierce and bright. As the Ribboners admired each other, they instantly lost their sight. They screamed while the other creatures shuddered. "Help us!" the Ribboners cried, but it was too late. They were blind. "We can't help you," the other creatures said. "You have stolen the colors from the snow, but with those colors comes the glow. We cannot look at you. If we do, you will blind us too." The Ribboners knew they had to leave. They did not want to hurt the other creatures. "We will go to the caves," the Ribboners declared, and although they held their heads up high, their voices cracked as they said goodbye. They fumbled their way through the trees to the gaping mouths of the canyon caves, but outside they stopped to feel the sunshine on their faces one last time. Their tears glistened in the sun, and they said, "Please remember us for what we were, and not for what we have become." And then they dove inside, one by one. That's where they are now, somewhere deep in the caves of the Candy Cane Canyons, the most magical, most beautiful creatures of all, forced to live forever in the black of blindness and the darkness of rock walls. Because, like a sunbeam on snow, they have the glow, and their beauty is blinding. Look for them all you want, but you will never find them. Holly closes the book and looks to Winter. "Well," she says. "That's an awful story, Holly," Winter says. "It's scary and it's sad, There's nothing marshmallow-tastic about it. I don't feel any better at all. Holly laughs. It's just a story, Winter. But why would the Ribboners do that? Is it true? Is that what really happened to them? Is that why no one ever sees them anymore? Well, Holly says, no one really knows for sure what happened to the Ribboners, so I guess it's possible. But it's just one story, Winter. There's so many other stories. Well, I don't like that one, Winter says. The Ribboners are mean in that one. And why was it snowing colored snow in the first place? Holly leans in really close and puts her arm around Winter. Sometimes, Winter, strange and magical things happen. And it might seem like they happen for no reason, but little sister of mine, there is always a reason, okay? There is always someone who knows why. It's just a matter of asking the right person. Holly pats Winter on the head and then gets up to leave. But before she does, she turns to Winter and says, "It was an awful story, wasn't it?" Winter laughs for the first time that morning, and the laughing makes her feel a little bit better. Not all the way better, but better enough to go to the wrapping party. She still has a lot of presents to wrap, and it's a lot more fun to wrap presents at the wrapping party than it is to wrap presents alone in her bedroom. She goes inside to get ready and to look for her missing mitten, which she still can't find. Then she heads out the door, pulling her sled of unwrapped gifts with her unmittened hand all the way down Sweet Street, hoping her friends are still not mad at her and that they don't run out of tape at the party.